So what we're going to do now is we're going to graph y equals 3 halves x minus 4. So this following is going to be the steps that we're going to follow in order to graph that. Okay, so I'm just going to take our question to the side just so that we have it in front of us. So first of all, it says identify the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, so I need to do that. I need to, just like we did with the table above, we need to identify them. So we can see first of all that we have a slope is in front of our x because it's in the correct form. So our slope is 3 halves. And we also know that our y-intercept is -4. So our b value is -4. The next step that we would do would be to plot the y-intercept. Okay, so our y-intercept in this case is -4, which means we want to place a dot at b, at the value of b, on the y-axis. So we're going to do that now. So we're going to find the y-axis, which is here, and where there is -4, we want to put a dot. So back to here again, and we'll do it purple, and we'll make the dot kind of big so we can see it. Okay, so we are putting the dot at -4. Then what it says we are to do is it says use slope to determine at least 2 more points. Well, my slope in this example is rise over run, which is delta y over delta x. And I'm just going to bring that bring it to the front so we can see what else it says there. And we know in this case that that is 3 over 2. So it means I'm going to rise 3 and run 2. So rise 3, run 2. And the way we do that is we go to our point B and we are going to rise, and we're just going to get our magic pen for a second. Wherever it went, magic pen. So I'm going to rise 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to run 2. 1, 2. So my point is at at 2, -1. So out comes my point again. And we're going to choose purple. I got to make sure that I have, so it gives me not what I want sometimes. So here it was here. And then what we can do is we can have another point using the same thing. So from this point, I can rise 3. So 1, 2, 3, run 2. 1, 2. And what do you know? It's a magic pen. I don't want magic pen, just want a pen. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And actually, I could find a lot of points that way. I could keep on going. I could go 1, 2, 3, run 2, 1, 2. Okay, so that is the easiest way to graph a straight line. Now what I need to do is I need to join them together, and I will join them with purple as well. And I don't want to just join like this. Oops, and that shouldn't have done crooked like that. What I want to do is I want to extend my line to include all of the points plus the points that I didn't draw. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to extend our line like this, and we're going to put arrows because it goes on to infinity in both directions. Okay, we just didn't choose those points. Okay, so those are the steps that we're going to follow. Identify our slope and y-intercept, plot the y-intercept, in other words, put a dot, a point on the y-axis, and then use the slope to determine at least 2 more points. Okay, so the next page we're going to do a few of these. Okay, so the first one says y equals 3 halves x minus 6. So the first thing, remember, we're supposed to identify our slope. So in this case, our slope, and I'm just going to type it because it's faster, but not quite that big. We're going to have our slope equals 3 over 2. And that's the problem with the smart software. It doesn't do fractions, but that's all right. I'll just make it do what I want. So 3 over 2. And we know that our y-intercept is -6. So according to what we did on the last page, I take my pen, I find my y-axis, which is here, the vertical one, and go to -6. I put my point. And again, I'll make it a little bit larger so that you can see it. So I put a point at -6. I go up 3 over 2. Rise, run. So I'm going to go up 3 and then run 2. Up 3, run 2. Okay, and as I said, you can keep on doing that, but obviously we have enough points. Then what we do is we draw a line and we're going to extend it in both directions with arrows to tell the person that it goes on forever and ever. Okay, now try to make your line go through the points. It's a little bit harder, I know, for me sometimes with the Smartboard software. Okay, there we go. Okay, and you do it with a ruler. Okay, you must use a ruler with this. I don't want you just joining little points up. Okay, the next one. Uh-oh, I've got a problem here. The slope and y-intercept. Well, I can see what my slope is, and I think I will go to the writing utensil, and let's go and get, we'll do red this time. So here I have my slope is equal to -2, and my y-intercept is +2. My problem is, though, remember my slope needs to be my rise and my run, my delta y over delta x. The problem is here, all I have is a -2. So when I have a whole number, I can turn it into a fraction by just putting it over 1. Okay, so just by putting it over 1, I've created my rise and my run. Now, because it's a -2, it means I'm going to be going down 2 and then still over in the same direction that we always have. We're always going from left to right for our over part. Okay, so we're going to do it on the same grid here. So first of all, I put a point at 2, and we'll do red so that we're the same. So there is our 2. Then I need to go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. Okay, so there's that point, and now it's just a matter of drawing our line through that point, and we still have our arrows, and we will make it red to match the points, and we have a lovely line that's created fairly quickly and fairly easily. Okay, so on to the next 2 examples, actually 3 examples. The next one I have is y equals x minus 6. So same kind of process. Okay, again, this time we'll switch and we'll go to green. And we know that our slope is the number in front of our x. Okay, and I can see that that's a 1 because I don't put it there. So my slope's 1. So in order to make a fraction, I'm going to go 1 over 1. So I'm going to rise 1, run 1. Okay, so that's what I'm going to have to do with that information. And my b this time is -6. So I go and put my point at -6. I rise 1, rise 1, run 1, rise, run, rise 1. Okay, so we have enough, definitely have enough points there. So now it's just a matter of drawing our line through those points. We still have our arrows, which is great. And I use green, so we'll use green for this line. And here we go. Through it goes. Okay, so that is number 4. And actually, I probably should put that it's number 4. I should have did that probably on the other graphs as well, but that's fine. This one's going to have three graphs to it. So this is number 4. Okay, and now let's look at our next one. Our next one is kind of funny because we don't see an x, so we have y equals 6. So actually these two are special ones. One's vertical and one's horizontal. What it's saying here is my y is always 6. So if my y is always 6, it's here. It's always 6, no matter what. Doesn't matter what my x is. But if I actually looked at my slope, well, my slope is going to be 0x plus the 6. So you can see my slope is 0 and my y-intercept is 6. So that's why it becomes that horizontal line. So again, we take and we're going to draw a line through there, and I used red, so we're going to use red for our points. And so that is our 5th one. And finally, our next one is x equals 4. Now in this one, you can see that it doesn't say y equals mx plus b. The reason being is when I have x equals -4, my slope is undefined. So my slope is undefined. So that means that I'm going to be looking at a vertical line and switch colors for our points. So that means that x always equals -4. Now here's the x-axis here. So we're going to go over to -4, which is here. So it doesn't matter what the y is, x always is going to be 4. So it's going to be a vertical line that way. And again, finally, we're going to draw our line through that. Good. And here is blue. And so that is our 6th point, sixth line, sorry. And as I said, I have stars beside those two is because you'll often see those special ones on tests because it's checking that you understand the zero slope and the undefined slope. So if you want to put a happy face there, you just go right ahead, Creative Pen, and here's a lovely little happy face. Okay, so you're going to see these ones definitely on a test somewhere.